What's going on, YouTube? This your boy ATruckerNamedJay, checking in, man. We out here finna get loaded. We got here a little early to this shipper here in we in Memphis. We in Memphis. Yeah, out here in Memphis. Picking up a load going to Jersey, heading to New Jersey. So load of alcohol, I want to say it is. Yeah, load of alcohol. So but anyways, what I want to talk about in this video is why, as a lease a fleet guy, why do I want to buy a truck cash? Why would you do that, Jay? I thought you was a lease a fleet guy. I thought you was against the old raggedy trucks and blah 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 blah. Here's my thing. Be Smooth reminded me in the comments the other day, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. He pretty much kept it a buck. He's like, yo, there's a lot of people that want to see you fail. It's a lot of people that want you to fall off. They think you're growing too fast. I'm paraphrasing, of course, and I'm speaking on what I think he was meaning. And I kind of know that, you know, for whatever reason, there's a group of people out there that just don't like me, and that's cool. That's fine. I've made my peace with that. But, you know, one of the things I'm not going to do is give them the satisfaction of messing up this situation as a future fleet owner and business owner in trucking. And so in order to do that, I want to take some precautions in growing my fleet. One of those things is I want to make sure that I'm always going to be good and my family is always going to be good, and that I don't have to take from my business to maintain my personal life. That's I think maybe probably the biggest mistake that a lot of guys make when it comes to trying to do what I'm trying to do, is that they it's kind of like when I spoke on in one of my last videos, is that, you know, you up your lifestyle and, you know, you take all of the money that you make when it's good and when it's great and when it's above average like now, and instead of putting it back into the business, you spend it on personal things that lose value and don't make you any money. And so one of the reasons that I do want to buy a cash truck is that I want to take the money that I make from the business this year and I want to put it in something productive. You know, I had intentions on buying a motorcycle, M109R Suzuki 2007, but the more I think about it and the deeper I get into this business mindset and the business side of things, it just don't make sense. Why would I buy a motorcycle when I don't have a house? You know, why would I buy anything like that when I don't have a house to put it in? And I was going to justify it in my head by renting out one of the garages that's available in the apartment complex that I live at, but that just would be stupid. I'm just spending money just to spend money. And that's just not something that is an intelligent thing for me to do, and it's just a continuation of bad habits that I'm trying to break. So instead of doing that, I am going to look more to making my money make money. And I want to buy a truck, man. Originally, the plan was to buy a cash truck and go to the port. But I don't want an old busted truck. I just don't. You know, I was thinking about getting an older day cab or like an older Freightliner, like a regular Columbia, you know, and take it to the port. But I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not. I want, if somebody was to ask me what would be my, I guess, quote unquote dream truck, it would be 3 trucks. Either of course a Peterbilt 379, a W9 Kenworth, or a long nose Freightliner, whether it's a Coronado or an old school Freightliner Classic XL, FLD, or whatever. And out of all those 3, the one that's closest to my price range, that'll be closest to my price range this year, will be the Freightliner. So that's what I'm gonna do, man. I'm gonna take my money that I'm gonna make, that I'm projecting to make, because I am projecting to make a lot of money. It's not even gonna flex. I think everybody is projecting that. And I know some people say, well, why are you telling people this? I believe at this point in my life, I believe in speaking shit into existence. I believe in putting shit in the atmosphere, putting shit in the universe. So if I come out and I don't say you know, continuously what I want to do. If I don't put it out there, I'll leave it to doubt. I leave, you know, room for doubt, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this, and I end up just doing some stupid shit. So I want to put the energy out there. All the money, I'll say 75+% of the money that I make this year is going back into my business. I'm not changing any lifestyle. You know, I may do some vacations here or there, take some trips with my family. You know, I got my wife's birthday. I'm about to do some things for her. You know, June, we're talking about going to Key West in June. I may go to Vegas in April. And the wife wants to eventually go get like a cabin somewhere later in the year. Besides that, that's pretty much it. You know, it's just not about to be like a bunch of, like, it's not about to turn into a fashion show. It's not about to turn into the look at the latest expensive thing that I bought. I'm just not doing that. I'm walking it like I'm talking it. You know, for so long I've come up on this app and I've just said a bunch of shit that sounded good, and I wasn't even living what I was saying. And it's, you know, sad. You know, I go back and I watch some of my older videos. It's like, damn, bro, you ain't stand on nothing you said. You said you were saying shit and doing the complete opposite of what you were saying. You know what I mean? And I just definitely want to break those habits and not go back to them. So I want to spend the money that I make back on my business. You know, another reason why I want to buy a cash truck is I don't know, I got this thought in the back of my head that, and maybe this is a negative mindset or whatever, somebody in the comments can speak to it, that I could just wake up one day and all this shit just be gone. You know, the market could crash again. You know, all of my drivers could quit. The trucks can explode. Just, you know what I mean? Like, just that rainy day, everything just go to shit. And people may look at me like I'm crazy, but I've seen it happen to YouTubers. I've seen it happen to Ghost. I've seen it happen to Woody. You know, no disrespect to them, of course. I'm not trying to be shady or nothing, but I've seen it. I watched it happen to them. And they had way more trucks than me, you know? And so I just have to look at how did they recover from that. Woody got out of the business altogether. Ghost was able to keep going and start over because his trucks was paid off cash. His trucks was paid off cash. And so with that mindset, I feel like if I can just have one cash truck, because, you know, my drivers, of course, you don't want to walk around with the mindset of if it all goes to shit, you know, whatever, you know, but in my mind, I would think from as far as my drivers go, they would be good, because if my shit fell apart, VL will still be there, so they could just switch over to VL. But I would have to, I don't know, maybe this is just a fucked up way of thinking, but I just want to be safe. I want to be able to sleep at night knowing that worst come to worst, I got a truck, one truck that I know I can go get 6 figures with. You know what I mean? Which leads me to my next point. You know, if I plan on staying in the truck past this year, I don't want to be OTR anymore after this year. Whether that's being regional with VL, because they are starting regional opportunities that they have now. I think the company drivers are paying the company drivers 60 cents a mile, but you don't have to have hazmat or a tanker or none of that. You just run regional in the Midwest for right now, and they're working on getting it for the Midwest to the Northeast. I mean, yeah, the Northeast and the Southeast, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I want to run those type of routes with a truck. And obviously, when you shut down and you start running a smaller window, and you're not picking your own freight, you're not dealing directly with the brokers, you don't really know, there's no way to control how much you're going to make. You're at the mercy of what your dispatcher is going to get you. So I don't want to be in a truck with a payment stressing over, oh, I only gross $4,500 this week. You know what I mean? I want to be able to do that, go home on the weekend, and be just fine. You know, and again, that goes back to my point of, I don't want to, you know, because it's going to be a pay cut. Well, it just depends on how it plays out, but it will be a pay cut because I'm going from OTR to regional. But I don't want it for me to have to start taking from my business money to maintain. I just want my one truck to be able to live off of this one truck. Me and my family live off this one truck. Our lifestyle is fit around this one truck, and then the fleet continues to take care of itself. That's how I want to do. I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to be the guy that has a fleet and his lifestyle is a reflection of his fleet. You know, I don't, you know what I mean? Would I like for us to get out of the apartment? Yes, but am I going to go get a fucking 5,000 square foot house and 3-car garage and, you know, a football field for a backyard. No, there's no need for that right now. There's no need for that. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to be smart about it, man. You know, and those are really the main reasons, man. I know eventually I want to be home more. And I do think that a paid off piece of equipment will help me to that transition to be smoother. You know, I don't want to. I want to have a contingency, which is if it all goes to shit, I got my one truck. And you know, if my top 3 favorite trucks, if I can drive one of my favorite trucks, you know, I always wanted a long nose, so why not? You know, if I'm going to do anything with the money that I should be able to make this year, why not do something smart and that I can get the best of both worlds? Like, personally, I like this truck, and business-wise, it's going to make my business money. You know what I mean? And then, you know, that's how I'm thinking. That's why I want to buy a gas truck. The other thing is, too, you know, a lot of the times I come up here and I tell you guys that I do not count my referral money as my income. That's just extra, and that's just the case. Like, I've had a lot of people to tell me, like, yo, you should start budgeting your referral money into your income. I just refuse to do that, man. To me, I just feel like that's gambling. I feel like that's gambling, man. I feel like the minute I start doing that, 5 people gonna quit. Like, I know maybe I'm super negative, maybe I'm super cautious, but you're talking to a guy who has leaped before he looked so many times, and you guys have seen how that's ended up. So I'm just trying to measure 7 times before I cut once. That's all. You know, this business, having this fleet, having these drivers, my driver now, and potentially the team, and whoever else, you know, that will eventually get in this truck, you know, means a lot to me. It's not just, you know, this is going to lead to other things for me. You know, this year my sole focus is the trucking business. Next year it's about getting my wife's daycare business off the ground, and then so forth and so forth. So if I'm going to do the things that I want to do for my family and put them in positions to be better and not have to live paycheck to paycheck, and put other family members in positions to maybe start smaller businesses, you know, I'm not going to turn into a fucking, you know, super empire. But if I can help family members start smaller businesses just to get a feel for being their own boss on the side with their main job, then, you know, that's a blessing. But I can't do that if I am making impulsive decisions, if I'm out here just spending all of my money on dumb shit just to show off on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. It won't make sense. And I've seen it done, and I've seen the end result. The flashy guy never makes it in the end, ever. Think about it. The flashy guy never wins. The guy that upgrades his car, his house, and his lifestyle immediately, he never makes it. And if he does, it's a very small percentage, and he's stressed a hell of a lot more than the next man to make it. And I just don't want to go through that, man. So those are the reasons I'm going to, you know, buy a truck this year. You know, I'm open to maybe buying another Freightliner, like a 2007, 8, 9, maybe. Or maybe like a 06 pre-emissions regular Freightliner like the one I'm in. But I really would like to get a long nose. I mean, if I'm gonna have the money and the means, why not? You know what I mean? So, but this video is getting a little dragged out. Appreciate you watching. If you watch this long, man, as always, you know the vibe. Stay safe, stay positive, stay productive. God Family Trucking, and keep pushing, man. Your goals are closer than what you think they is, man. I'm gone.